Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you again so much for joining me here, taking a quick look again at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Just a quick update from earlier today, kind of paraphrase a few things, and essentially talk a little bit about confirming factors that we're looking for going into today's candlestick closure. We broke our ascending trend line here recently, earlier today. We've essentially performed a bearish backtest of the ascending trend line. Further downside is expected. I'm presuming this previous resistance turned support, turned resistance is going to likely work as such moving forward. So I'm thinking that we're going to see the highest we're going to see is like 58.5, and we should see the price pull back. Again, I wish that was the case and it performed exactly like that. It probably won't, but just know that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'd like to see 58.5 in that range and essentially open a short there. Okay, now might not get what we want. In that case, price could continue to run. Certainly looks like it wants to. 58,000 is holding very strong as a resistance. So we just got to be mindful of that. All right, so those are just kind of some thoughts, forward thinking, quick summary, what's going on. We're going to discuss validation and invalidation levels too. And let's first and foremost look at liquidation. And just before we do, I want to say thank you so much for the awesome feedback from my community. Last but not least too, hit the like button if you comment below. Either one of those things, every time you watch a video, super, super awesome, super helpful. Helps get this in front of more people so less moon boys get those views. It's not about the views, honestly. It's about making sure you don't get destroyed in this market. And nobody should be saying take a long to the moon right now. That's just not practical. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just foolhardy. Take a look here. We got more liquidation on the downside. This is starting to increase. Heavy concentration, about 56,800, roughly 57,000. So I think there's a distinct probability we're going to see the price continue lower, just based on the overall sentiment here with that strong resistance at 60,500. I think it just makes more sense the price is going to continue to bleed out. If we do take a look at the bigger picture, not much has changed here. 52,000 and 62,000 are the kind of heavy concentrations. So we really want to focus more so on the last 7 days and kind of see here, there's a lot of liquidation on the downside, so kind of some egregious long positions where they're probably either A, using high leverage or just forgot to secure profits. How crazy is that? Imagine taking a long back here at the 57,000 range, being all the way up as high as 60,500 and not securing profit. That's crazy to me. We'd secured plenty of profit on our Bitcoin long, so glad we did that. Bob's your uncle. Moving on, right? That's kind of how it goes. So let's take a quick look at Bitcoin and see what's going on the daily. I covered the macro earlier today, and just quick synopsis, the weekly time frame, while it has a double stochastic convergence, which is generally favorable, there's a lot of slightly bearish to neutral divergences on the weekly. So easy way to understand it is that we haven't broken bullish or bearish, but we're looking like a 55% chance the price continues lower, right? That's from a macro perspective. Once again, 102% of statistics are made up on the spot. See what I did there? Yeah, so again, it's just a generic consensus. That's what we're doing every single time frame we're looking at. We're identifying opportunities if it's either going to go up or down. That's really it. And again, as you see more opportunities that point in the same direction, it's probably more likely to go that direction, which we're seeing right now. We're seeing this divergence here, breaking below 50 on the RSI. Stochastic pulling back, money flow index coming down. When money flows away from coins, folks, you got to recognize the overall trend is going down. And MF5, keep in mind, is a 14-day lag or a 14-candle lag. So in this case here, it's taken into consideration the last 2 weeks of trading. Okay, so you got to recognize that can be slightly flawed sometimes, but generally speaking, even though the price has gone up, we're seeing more money flow out of the coin than into the coin in the last 14 days. And that's generally problematic or generally a bearish sign. Take a look here, we can see stochastic swinging down. I like what trend strength indicator definitely tells us we have good strength in this trend. So that is a conflicting factor here, kind of letting us know that we haven't like totally broken bearish. We're still maintaining above the 20-day SMA as long as we close at 57.7 or higher today, which is literally where we've been most the entire day ever since we hit this little bottom. So that's kind of where we're at there. We can also see if we, these are updated fib levels, by the way, more macro fibs from the most local low to the local high. We can see this 55,600 or 55.5 is a nice round number. That is a potential area of consideration for a take profit target or a long. Again, I say that loosely because you don't just take longs in the blind when we're days or hours away from that. But the concept here is that if we pull back, that should be a support range based on previous lows, 0.65 fib levels, and just general areas of confluence. Okay, we got a lot of reasons why that's a good place. If we zoom out just a little bit in this more recent range here, ever since late August, maybe about the last month's worth of trading, we can see the most amount of resistance at 58,000 or the most amount of buying or selling pressure there. So we see a ton of volume at 58,000 as a round number. So all the more reason why 58K is probably more likely to be the resistance here, which we're seeing right now. And the likelihood of the price going much higher from here is lower. But it could also, you could also argue that this is like a good solid support, right? A lot of different iterations there, but it just makes sense the way the price has continued up. A lot of the fair value got filled, price is continuing lower. We're losing a lot of majority of, pretty much all moving averages, and that's generally unfavorable. We're now under the 50-day SMA, so I don't like what I see here. Hourly time frame, let's quickly confirm. Ichimoku Cloud is telling us we have a lot of sell signals here still open. In other words, you could take a short right now and probably have some better luck than taking a long. This makes a lot more sense to go with the grain, which is down, and not against it, okay? So again, this little playout here I have on my playout chart, of course, you're not familiar. Twitter, Telegram, Discord, I have a lot of kind of updates there for coins that I cover. This is just kind of a generic consideration. A lot of times you'll see this Elliott wave kind of ABC out to the downside. Well, I don't have my fibs specifically pulled up for that play out. We're basically at the 0.618 fib level for this most recent low to high, okay? So generally speaking, we're supposed to see a lot of support here at this 57,500 level. That's generally what I've been talking about for a while, being a strong area of consideration for a long. But now that we've broken our descending trend, we're honoring a lot of descending trend lines and or we're below a lot of key levels on moving averages, etc. Like every time frame we've looked at so far has mostly a bearish quality to it. Why do you want to take a long into that? It just doesn't make any sense, okay? If you do watch it close, make sure you get what you can out of it. I would say best case scenario, 58.5, 58.7 would be a better case scenario for the price to bounce and recover with a more stronger likelihood of the price coming down to like the 55K range. So me, if I'm going to consider shorting, I'm going to consider shorting and taking profits at like 56.8, 56.9, and then possibly like 55.6, somewhere in that range. Okay, those are just two considerations there. Either way, I put that all in my, I already put that in my trade alerts section here within our Discord. Please make sure you read through that and enable those alerts. Future reference, you can go to the coin calls here and choose which coins you want to track. And or just kind of follow, because I do send out trade alerts on most coins I analyze, but more importantly, the ones I'm interested in trading. Okay, that's all there for you. Those are available for anyone who is part of my Pioneer package or higher. Okay, CryptoCache.tech is the site, link down below if you're curious about that. Otherwise, appreciate you all nonetheless. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.